This is Dream Spirit, and this is my second commentary video. After posting my last video, I got a bunch of really great feedback, and one of the things that I saw a lot of was people were very curious how my Warlock partner and I approached other common pairing seen in the arena that are fairly strong or formidable against Warlock Druid. So one of the requests that I got the most of was for Mage Rogue, which of course is extremely popular in twos, and have quite a few disabling abilities they can do to our pairing. While this video is a somewhat quick match, I'm actually going to end up pausing the footage at some point so that I can explain what's going on, because when I tried to just do commentary straight through, there wasn't enough time to explain. As I mentioned here during the scrolling text, one of the things that I found is really crucial is positioning during the opening moments for a fight against a rogue and mage. Since druids have detection, we should be able to, in most cases, be able to see that it's a mage, and from lack of buffs, assume that it's a rogue. But in some cases also, mages will start out in Viz to try to throw this off. But here when my partner and I exit the starting area, we see the mage, and so we get in position. Very often, the rogue will try to hurry into our base, so I found it's sort of good to be in a spot where they don't expect me to be. Here I have LOS on my partner. I'm also within range to both cyclone and root him, so that I know that if the rogue pops my partner, that I should be able to snag the rogue as quickly as possible. But my main intent right here is that I'm actually trying to get a cyclone off on the mage, so that hopefully when they come in, we will not be burst down by both of them, and that we'll be able to sort of stagger the damage. One of the things that's going through my head at all times during a matchup like this is I want to put a good bit of distance between the mage and I, and to also stay out of LOS as much as possible. So as soon as I get off that cyclone, I'm going to immediately make haste to get out of LOS at the mage, and I do this by trying to get around the little tomb in the center of the map. As the mage comes in, I throw on my cyclone as quickly as possible, and then try to figure out if the rogue is going to go for me and my partner. Since it isn't my partner, I assume it's me, and I start to run around the center column to try to get out of LOS. So I wander around in bear form, waiting for my perfect moment, and then I'll bash the rogue and dash away very quickly to try to get out of LOS of the mage. My main point during these opening moments is to stay alive. I actually had someone ask me why it seems that much of this match I'm actually staying in bear form rather than getting out of snares quickly. Part of the reason is that if I'm in bear form and both of them are focused entirely on me, it's mitigating a lot more damage, and also it's feeding me rage so that I can pull off either a feral charge or a bash at will. While DPS is a concern, the primary concern is mostly staying alive and trying to live through the cooldown period on both of the opponent's trinkets and such, because that's when it gets scariest. Once we can actually start some form of vague CC rotation on one or both of the other players, it gets a lot easier. It's very tricky though in the beginning, because both of the players here not only have outs, but they are also undead, so they have an additional out. One of the things you'll notice here is I'm sort of casting on the mage, running away, casting on the mage, running away. So right here when he ice blocked, I tried to time it so that right when he would come out of ice block, my cyclone would land on him, which would keep him on that side of the tomb and away from me. I can deal with the damage of the rogue by shifting out of some of his snares and such, and by keeping hots on myself, but it's the mage that really scares me, because that's the one that's actually game breaking against me. A good counter spell can take me out of the game pretty quickly and kill me, so I'm trying to keep heavy hots on myself at the same time. One of the things that's also really important that I at least prefer to do is if I have to be locked down by them and I'm being double DPS'd, I would much rather be a bear than a night elf. The damage mitigation is just really worth it. So as I'm trying to shift and get away, I'm usually going back into bear form rather than travel form, simply because I'd rather risk the chance that if I'm not really totally away from them and they catch me again, that they're pounding on me while I'm a bear rather than anything else. Which, while they're pounding on me, of course, is giving me rage for not only things like Demoralizing Roar, which for some reason I didn't click in this fight, but Frenzied Regeneration if I need it, and more importantly though are Bash and Feral Charge. So I'm always looking for the opportunity where I can use either of those to take one of these guys out of the game, even just for a couple seconds, and give me some space. While I know there's a bunch of different Druid specs out there, I just really prefer having Feral Charge and Bash, as in fights like this, it's the only pointed CC I can use that isn't counterspellable by the Mage. So it's really powerful because it puts me at less risk when I'm using it than, say, casting Cyclone or Entangling Roots. One of the things that's very important to me here is to always be very well aware of what's going on with my partner. In a match like this, the double DPS will either heavily go for me or heavily go to my partner. Here, of course, they're heavily going for me, so they're trying to CC him in any way possible. In his spare moments, though, when he's not polyed or taken out of the game, he's really trying to help stagger the incoming DPS on me by essentially trying to toy with the other team, do fears when possible, curse of exhaustion, anything he can do to try to slow them down. Here my partner also lands a fear on the Mage, buying me some time and ability to get away from him once again. So since my DRs are actually up on the Mage right now, you saw me get a Cyclone off on the Rogue, and then go back to CCing back and forth. When I'm on vent with my partner, we really try to communicate what's going on during the match, and if I know, for instance, that, say, the Fel Puppy has silenced the Mage, or that the Mage is feared, that's a really perfect time for me to be able to toss the larger heals or a Cyclone or Root, and not be as worried about getting a counterspell against me. I get a set of full hots on my partner and an Abolish Poison to help him stay alive. The three main spells that there's a very high possibility of being counterspelled during for me tend to be Regrowth, Cyclone, or Root. So when I actually cast those spells, I'm really trying my very best to be either out of counterspell range or out of LOS of the Mage, if at all possible. Here I use a quick Nature's Grasp, just to get a little bit of distance on the Rogue. And my partner finishes off the Mage. I endure a little bit of pressure under the Rogue. And thanks to one last tasty fear, we finish off the match with a win. Well, in any case, guys, that's the end of my second commentary video. If you have any questions, or if you have any tips of your own, please feel free to share them. I'm still learning as always. This footage is about 2 months old, so it has probably about maybe 4 to 6 less keybinds than I currently use, but I'm still working on that aspect of things. Definitely keybinding, it has helped quite a bit, but I'm still a long ways off from where I want to be, and hopefully one of these days I can stop using my keyboard to turn. But until that day, I will still be here learning. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to give me a holler. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate all the feedback from you guys. And it makes it even more worth it to spend time frapsing stuff and adding music and commentary and all that. So yeah, good luck in the arena all, and thanks for watching my video.